and he'll have access to additional food and grain, and food is certainly going high in the market. We have been selling our grain, and I will actually sell a little bit more here. We've gone from a deficit to actually producing almost 500 an hour. So let's sell this for 14,000 before anyone else can utilize these prices. With how expensive grain is, we're not investing in cavalry. Instead, we are using this to support our finances, support a few spies, as well as store a little bit of grain for Fiona so that we are able to keep deploying infantry, as this 41,000 stack has mostly come from her at this point. The deployment is rather fast here. It looks like, so iron has been relatively expensive. It looks like there's a decent amount of wood here at a cheaper price, and I would certainly take that to be able to continue expanding my factories and even divert some of my resource sliders for iron to start producing tanks as soon as our level 2 factories are able to complete. The cost is a little steep here, but I will try to snag maybe 3,500 of this lumber. I will actually secure an additional 300 or so lumber so that we are able to get 5,000 lumber in total, and I will start producing an additional railroad here in the south. At this point, we have touched each one of our double resource provinces. I like the railroads. It gives you a stronger morale boost, stronger resource production, and it's all at the cost of coal, unfortunately. So I do want to get this coal production up, as even though we're able to produce a really nice surplus of energy, I do not want to utilize our oil. I'm trying to balance out the gas and coal. As this coal continues to drop, we will continue to purchase more. But if we can minimize this by another 150, if not 200, that'll be a huge boost to our spending, as we would be able to save a lot of those funds. I'm going to balance out these sliders a little bit, as a lot of the factories are pretty even on resource costs. We will do a little bit heavier on the iron, as a lot of our mechanized units will require that iron. First artillery unit finishes in about 5 hours, along with the level 3 factory. And if I look at the tanks, and I believe I looked at this last time, you need the level 2. So we could have started on tank production, but we had existing artillery production that was going on, and I definitely want to see that through before we do invest in those tanks. Down in the south here, we will most likely do the same thing. As soon as we're able to save up a little bit of resources, I do want to increase that factory to produce a level 3 factory, as that would continue to give us a significant boost in unit production speed bonus. And if we take it all the way to level 4, we would get a 700% bonus. Producing units out of the south does not make sense at the moment, as even if we're able to keep a lot of our factories running, which I don't believe we would, it would take forever for the units to reach the front line. I want to focus on getting these 2 factories as high as possible so they are able to churn out a lot of these units. We want to keep the utilization high on these factories, and any surplus that we do have, invest that in our other territories and invest in other production in the south. Unfortunately, we don't have too many double resources in the north. Our next closest ones would come from our early Texas conquests,